What's going on, guys? BeamingG here, and we're talking about this wonderful post today in this video, an update to balancing in MCOC. And I am being sarcastic. It's not the most wonderful post. Definitely could have been written a little bit better, but for those who like to read and try to read with an open mind, I feel like a lot of people get the message that's being put across, but there's a lot of people who just think super negatively right away, and they're like, oh no, this sucks, this is trash. And while it sounds like trash, hopefully this will alleviate some concerns if you have a negative outlook on this, because I certainly have a quite positive outlook on this. I think it's pretty good for the game. I think it's needed and long overdue, but I digress. A TLDR of this post can pretty much be found here. This starts in March, and there's data collection for a couple months. They alter a character if changes need to be made. They put it on a beta server that people have access to. People will test it, communicate with the devs, and then if the changes are good, they'll push them out in like 6 months after the character's release. If they're bad, they may alter it, update a little bit to make it more positive. I'm 99% sure this is not just tune downs that people are testing. It's tune ups like normal buffs, and they really want to make sure that the rebalancing is hitting the mark. That's what I think it is, to my knowledge. It's not just the tune downs that are going to be tested ahead of time. So right here, I just want to cover this. This change to the balancing also means that over time we'll be bolstering and expanding our beta program to allow more summoners the opportunity to interact with new champions updates as much as possible. This sounds like it's just the CCP, that they're upgrading the CCP. I really hope I'm wrong. Like, I would love if they do stuff like the Hulkbuster beta, where they select a random handful of players all over the game and say, hey, here you go, test this new buff character, let us know how it is, give us feedback. I think that's awesome. I think they need to do that with this program. I'm hoping it's not just the CCP, because some people in the CCP don't even use the CCP to give feedback. It's quite evident with some of these people's channels. They just use it to push content out, which, more power to you, but I digress there again. I really would love if they made it to where it's a more open beta server, to where people can test, they're randomly selected like they did with Act 7 content. I think that would be awesome, and I think it could allow for solid feedback, and you'll get people at the not lower end of the game, but people who are just starting out or not as far in story content, and then you can get people at the end game level. I definitely think that would be pretty cool, but I digress. So yeah, they also said somewhere in this post that we're getting 2 updates per month. I think it's down here. Yeah, in April we'll be looking to update two updates per month, but we'll not guarantee what kind of updates they will be. Basically, we're getting 2 updates of any kind starting in April, which is normal. It's what we've been having, right? But the only thing that is changed is that some characters that are released can get tuned down. Some newer characters have priority over older characters, which is I think is good. New characters are the future of the game. Whether you agree with me or not, I think that newer characters have better animations, they have more appeal. Like looking at 2021, we have a bunch of super cool characters, Anti-Venom Hercules, just like a ton of cool characters, and I think they should have the priority over older characters like the ones released here, because some of their animations aren't as great. And they did say in this post that they wanted to update older animations, which they'll say at the end, right here. But yeah, so this may sound like a bad thing, and it may sound like we're not getting any buffs to old characters. I can assure you that's wrong. But yeah, I pretty much said what I'm hopeful for with this program. I'm hoping that they expand it to where there's more of a beta where people can just go in, test a character, and they're done with it. You shouldn't have to be a content creator to get access to this, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, that it's only the CCP that gets these characters. I'm hoping that the beta servers are like the Act 7 ones, because I think limiting the the feedback on the changes to content creators is not good, because content creators who are in the CCP could, kind of hide what they feel just to stay in the program. They might be worried that they could get kicked out for being too harsh, whereas just some random average player giving feedback could be as harsh as they want, whether that's good or bad, or they could be as positive as they want. They don't have anything at stake there, if that makes any sense. But yeah, let's use 2021 as an example. Like I said, let's say hypothetically starting in 2021 of January of 2021, sorry, words are hard sometimes, they announced this program. So we have a whole year of this program, and looking at 2021 as an example, there are two glaring characters that would need to be tuned down in my opinion, which are Hercules and Kitty. And two things I want to say about this. Those two characters were designed by the same designer who doesn't work at Kabam anymore, and this designer is known for wanting to push the boundaries a bit in terms of power level or power creep. This designer also designed Doom, who is arguably the best Mystic character in the game, arguably top 5 characters in the game. Again, I don't want to like make it sound like I dislike this person. I love this person. They're awesome, but they like to push the power levels a bit, and whether that's good or bad, up for debate. But if we feel the need that there's or if the developers feel the need that balancing needs to be a thing, they might think it's an issue. But yeah, so we have 24 total updates for the year of 2021. Hercules and Kitty would take 2 of those updates as tune downs, so we have 22 reworks left. So, excuse me. So starting here, America Chavez, we have 1. Jubilee, we have 2. Mangog, we have 3. Psycho Man, we have 4. Purgatory, we have 5. And Super Scroll, we have 6. That is 6 characters that I feel, if I were the balance designer, missed the mark. So that means these characters would get priority in the buff program, and they would get buffed, so they're now at their intended levels, hopefully. So we have 2 spots getting taken for tune downs, 6 spots getting taken for reworks, aka buffs to characters that came out this year. So that's 2 plus 6, so 8 characters in 2021 are getting updated. That leaves 16 spots, and those 16 spots that are not allocated would go to older characters, which means we're still getting buffs for older characters. Looks like we're still going to be getting a lot of buffs to older characters. Obviously, this is all my opinion. If I was the balance designer, I would only nerf Hercules and Kitty from 2021. I would buff America. I would buff Jubilee. I would buff Mangog. I would buff Psycho Man. I'd buff Purgatory, and I'd buff Super Scroll. The other buffs would be characters like the ones back here, the ones who might need a buff out of this bunch. I really think a lot of people are overreacting to this. They think the game's automatically going to suffer because of this, and I think it's a positive thing. If you spent on every single early access bundle in 2021, which I don't recommend doing. I don't recommend doing it now for 2022, even with this program announced. If you spent on every single one and this program existed, more characters would get tuned up than tuned down, which means you would get more tune ups for the money you've spent. Just to put that in context. So yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. The designer who designed the 2 characters I want to get nerfed, or not want to get nerfed, but would get nerfed if I was the balance designer, they don't work there anymore. And ever since Kitty was released, none of the characters have really pushed too much in terms of the power level creep or power creep. None of the characters so far in 2022 have pushed the power spectrum too much. Sauron's a solid attacker, but really decent defender. Really strong attacker, really solid, really strong defender, really strong attacker. We have 2 new characters coming out in February. I don't know if I could say them because they've been teased, but guys, I think we're fine. my only advice is don't spend on Cavalier Crystals. That's something I've been telling people already. I really don't think you should spend on Cavalier Crystals. And 2, if you somehow get the character, I'm talking with my hand up, but it's not in the camera. So 1, don't spend on Cav Crystals. I was already telling people not to do this. 2, if you get the character before their 6-month time period, be cautious. Don't rank them up, because we still don't know how rank down gems would work if we're getting them, or if you get your resources back. Although I don't think the character would be altered too drastically. But we saw what happened with Namor and Call. They were barely changed, but we got rank down tickets and resources back if we wanted it. So I think we're gonna be fine. It just de-incentivizes getting Cavalier Crystals, which, you know, I really don't think is that big of a deal. And after the 6 months are up for this character, like, let's say Overseer was released in March of 2022. I don't think he's someone who would get buffed or nerfed. He's just someone who hit the mark and they're doing how they should be doing. They're not going to get changed. Like, if the character passed the 6-month program without getting tuned down, why would they get tuned down later down the road? 6 months is a lot of time. And usually you find, like, the player base will find a lot of things that are broken within 6 months. A lot of people found the broken stuff with Kitty within a month, because she's just a broken character. People found everything broken with Hercules in a month because he's a broken character. There aren't many broken mechanics in these characters, and I don't think there are going to be many broken mechanics with characters coming out in 2022. Unless the designers use this program as leeway and say, hey, I'm going to go all crazy with this design, which I highly doubt they'll do. I really don't think that the design team is going to say, hey, we now can tune down champions, let's make them super OP, and then tune them down 6 months later. Like, why would they make the balance designers have to go back and clean up their work? Like, people who think that, I don't know why they think that. But yeah, guys, I really think we're fine. I don't want to go on too long, but I'm really hoping that the program is the way I think it's going to be, where only the glaring, obvious characters that are super OP would get tuned down. Because obviously you want the game to operate within a spectrum. You want characters down here, you want characters up here. Ideally you want them all right here, but that's never going to happen because the game's so complex. It's so deep. There's so many different scenarios, so many different nodes, so many different characters. There's over 200 characters. There's no way you have everybody here, but you're going to have people within here. If they have a character that is, like, let's say we're here and there's a character in my hat, they're just going to bring that character down to the top of the power creep. I think we're fine. I really don't think much is going to change. I would bet money that we don't see any nerfs to characters released in 2022. Unless the designers say, let's go all gung-ho now that we can rebalance 6 months after, which I highly doubt they'll do. But if the designers don't change what, if the designers don't change what they're doing, I really don't see us getting any nerfed characters that come out this year. And that's not a knock on the designers. I think the designers have released very, very balanced characters. Like Null, for example. He's a very balanced character. He hits like a truck, but he has the ramp up to justify hitting like a truck. Go back here. We have someone like... who else can I use an example? Like Spider-Man 2099. He's a great character, right? I mean, everyone hated him at first, and people thought he needed to be buffed, but now they realize how strong he is. He's a super strong specialist, great for Alliance War slaying mystic characters or power control situations. Does he need to be nerfed? No. He's just a very well-balanced character, and there's a lot of very well-balanced characters that have been released, and I think we're going to be seeing that going forward. This program is just looking like it's going to be a way to, it's like a failsafe. Oh shit, we released a character too broken. Let's tune them down a little bit. That's basically all this is. It's not going to be, oh, you bought Cav Crystals. Yeah, we're going to make them really good now. So you spend on these cav crystals, but then we're gonna tune them down so they're shit later. Like, that's not gonna happen. I really don't see this happening. If that happens, I will stop playing this game. That's how confident I am. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm finished ranting. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting a like, consider subscribing. If you already subbed, you know I love you, and I will see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out, guys.